You know, in the world of Vedic Jyotish, that's Vedic astrology, there are certain concepts that can make people, well, pretty nervous. And right at the top of that list is something called Mangal Dosha. It's an astrological setup linked to the planet Mars, and it's believed to have this massive influence over your life, especially your marriage.
Yeah, that's the kind of heavy reputation it has. A planetary alignment that supposedly brings nothing but conflict and heartache. But what is it really? Is it just some unavoidable cosmic curse, or is there maybe a little more to the story?
Okay, so let's break this down. At its heart, Mangal Dosha, or Manglik Dosha as it's also called, is all about location, location, location. It's about where the planet Mars, known as Mongol, is sitting in your personal birth chart. If it lands in a few specific spots, its fiery, kind of aggressive energy is thought to be super disruptive to some really important areas of your life.
So, how exactly does this celestial grip take hold? Well, it's not random. According to the foundational text of Jyotish, it's a very specific set of astrological circumstances that creates this whole situation. Let's get into it.
It all boils down to Mars. See, in Vedic astrology, Mars is the warrior planet. It's all about energy, passion, aggression, and taking action. Now, when you take all that intense energy and place it in certain really sensitive areas of a birth chart, that's when you get this condition.
And this table here really lays out the trigger points for us. The doshas formed if Mars is sitting in one of these 5 specific houses in your chart. And as you can see, each house rules over a different part of life. The first house is you, your personality. The 7th is all about marriage. So when Mars is here, it's believed to kind of scorch that area with its intensity.
But here's the thing, it's not just a simple yes or no. The intensity can totally change. For instance, you could have a full dosha if Mars is in a zodiac sign where it's already super strong, like Aries. Or it could be a weaker, partial dosha if other planets are helping to balance things out. Astrologers will also check for it from both your rising sign and your moon sign. And here's a fun fact. If you were born on a Tuesday, the day ruled by Mars, its effects are said to be even stronger.
Okay, so let's say an astrologer looks at a chart and says, yep, it's there. What's the big deal? Let's dive into how this astrological placement is actually believed to show up in a person's life.
This right here is the big one. This is what everyone worries about. The idea is that the aggressive energy of Mars, when it's messing with the house of partnership, can fuel constant arguments, fights, or worse. In the most serious interpretations, it's even linked to accidents or health problems for the partner who doesn't have the dosha. You can see why this is a massive deal when families are matching horoscopes for marriage. But there is a really important number to keep in mind, 28. According to tradition, the raw, intense power of Mangal Dosha starts to calm down after you turn 28. It's believed that this is the age when the planet Mars symbolically matures, making its energy less explosive and a lot more manageable.
And it's not just about marriage. This fiery energy is believed to ripple out into other parts of life too. Health-wise, it's connected to things like accidents or surgery. In your career, it might show up as being impulsive or clashing with your boss. It's even associated with things like financial problems or difficulties in having children. I mean, it all sounds incredibly daunting, right? Like your life is mapped out by where a planet was when you were born. With so much supposedly on the line, you have to ask, what can you even do? Are you just fated to deal with all this? Or are there ways to handle it?
And that brings us to the whole idea of remedies, because in Vedic Jyotish, there's a strong belief that for almost every astrological challenge, there's a recommended solution, something designed to calm down, redirect, or, well, tame those planetary energies.
So, the first path involves rituals. These are things believers can do to feel like they're actively pushing back against the cosmic force. It could be a special ceremony at a temple for Mars, or simple things like weekly offerings. One of the most famous, though, is the Kumbh Viva, a symbolic marriage to an object, like a clay pot or a tree. The idea is that this object takes the first big hit of the dosha's negative energy, basically acting as a shield for your future human partner.
And this slide does a great job of showing the 2 main paths you can take here. On one hand, you have the external stuff, like wearing a specific gemstone, red coral, to channel Mars's energy in a good way, or donating red things. And then on the other hand, you have the internal work. These are personal disciplines, like fasting on Tuesdays or chanting mantras every day to build up your own inner strength and cool down that fiery Martian temper. But, you know, perhaps the most common and practical solution you'll hear is actually pretty simple. Just marry someone who also has Mangal Dosha.
The thinking here is that two similar energies will basically cancel each other out. It's like fighting fire with fire, but instead of an explosion, you get a stable, balanced flame.
So, we've looked at the problems, and we've looked at the solutions. But what's the big picture here? Is this whole thing just a celestial curse to be afraid of, or could there be a deeper meaning behind all of it?
And this is where the whole perspective can shift. The idea is that maybe, just maybe, the point of Mangal Dosha isn't to ruin your life, but to challenge you. It's seen as a kind of karmic lesson where that intense Martian energy, if you learn how to handle it, can actually forge incredible strength, courage, and drive.
So here's the key takeaway, right? The goal isn't to get rid of Mars's energy, it's to transform it. The belief is that through conscious effort and discipline, through all those remedies, the exact same planetary force that seemed like a destroyer can actually become a powerful protector. It can be a source of ambition that could lead to huge success.
In the end, this whole concept presents a choice. Whether you see it as literal astrology or just a powerful metaphor, the story of Mangal Dosha is about facing a powerful, challenging force in your own life. And it asks a really simple question. Are you going to be ruled by that fire, or are you going to learn how to harness it and turn a potential curse into your greatest strength?